Wonderful. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And thank you, Dr. Iwanchenna, for your wonderful intro. It's quite an intro to follow. Hopefully I can meet expectations here. So today I'm going to be talking about meditation and the benefits of meditation in sleep. So people often ask me what meditation is because it often comes up when I meet with clients. And the number one concern with my clients is usually stress reduction and the everyday stress that they're experiencing. Even work-related stress comes up often. So one of my suggestions, usually what I start with, is practicing meditation. Meditation is actually, you may hear it interchanged with the word mindfulness. Both of them mean being in the now and being present with yourself. Being aware of your surroundings and being aware of how you're feeling, how your day went and how you're feeling from that, what kind of stresses were you presented with that day, and then focusing on taking away all of that stress and not worrying about the future and not worrying about what happened earlier that day or even in the past, and just focusing on who you are, how you feel right in that moment. And that's what you do for meditation. People meditate in different ways, but really it's a way to relax. And of course, when you're relaxed, sleep often comes a lot easier to you. Meditation is a way to turn off your brain, because I know myself included, oftentimes we may be doing just fine during the day, and then we turn out the lights and we lay down and try and fall asleep. And then our brain starts working and we cannot turn it off. Oftentimes those thoughts are repetitive. We keep thinking about the same thing over and over again, and you're looking at the clock and thinking, oh my gosh, I only have this much sleep, this much time left to sleep. And then we start worrying and our brain keeps going and we can't shut it off, and that interferes with sleep. So meditation is a great way to turn off your brain. Meditation can help with your overall well-being. It can also help with your focus and your ability to concentrate throughout the day. If you've had a great night of sleep, oftentimes you feel ready to take on the day. And if you're at work, your ability to concentrate and focus can really be enhanced by using the practice of meditation. It is one of the most widely practiced stress management techniques in the world, actually. Plenty of other countries support people meditating. Even in other countries during the workday, they allow for time, 15 minutes to an hour during a lunch break, to actually meditate. They have quiet rooms where people can go to and lie down or sit and meditate. So it would be wonderful if we could all do that and take advantage of that. So how does meditation work? It's usually through a series of breathing exercises. Now, some people, and we're going to do a little exercise a little bit later, but oftentimes it's a method of breathing. So for some people, they like to breathe in through their nose and out their mouth. That's one of the most effective ways, but that can often be uncomfortable, especially if you have a sinus infection or a cold or something like that. It might be difficult to breathe through your nose. So it works just fine to breathe through your mouth as well. But you want to take in a very deep breath, pause, and then let it go. And with meditation, again, that's all you want to focus on, is just your breathing. You want to be, again, in the now and being aware of your surroundings and how you're feeling, and just focus on breathing in and breathing out. Some people like to do this during the day, and they feel that that helps them fall asleep at night. Others like to do it right before bed. And I know there's a page in your handouts about sleep hygiene. And it's really important to develop a great system of sleep hygiene, and meditation can be part of that. It's usually kind of part of your ritual in falling asleep. I know for me, my first step is to turn off all electronics. That's really benefited me, at least an hour before sleep. So I do that. I get restless leg as well. Somebody asked a question about that. And I second Dr. Iwanchina's suggestion of getting up and walking if you're experiencing restless leg. I'll usually walk downstairs, do some circles in the living room, and then walk back upstairs. And I found that to be very effective. If that doesn't work, then I'll hop in a warm bath, and that typically does the trick. I also stretch at night. So that's all part of my sleep routine and my sleep hygiene to eventually fall asleep. Meditation can also lead to reduced blood pressure, even if it's only temporary. Right before the time you're trying to fall asleep, it can help relax you, reduce your blood pressure. It also can help turn off your fight or flight. I don't know, has anyone heard of your fight or flight mechanism in your body? Well, that usually results from being under a significant amount of stress. It could be ongoing stress or situational stress, something specific that happened that day. But when your fight or flight system is turned on, it can be very difficult to fall asleep and to relax. So meditation is a great way to kind of turn that off, or at least reduce it, so you're able to fall asleep at night. So there's many different ways to meditate. For me, it's through running, especially running in the woods. It's very relaxing. I don't have to worry about the day's stressors that happen to me. One thing about running in the woods, you could be hiking as well. Hiking is a wonderful way to meditate. But while I'm running, I'm just focusing on each footstep. I'm looking at the area around me, looking at right now we have just wonderfully beautiful trees out right now, the changing colors with the fall. And that's all very relaxing. And so if I've done my run or my hike or even my peaceful walk for the day, I tend to be able to fall asleep a lot easier. Exercise in general will help turn off your fight or flight mechanism as well. Meditation can be challenging at first. Again, like I said, when we try to fall asleep and our brain just won't shut off, it's difficult to say, okay, I'm just going to focus on right now. And then your brain will jump in again and say, wait a minute, we got to worry about what we did yesterday or 10 years ago or what's going to happen tomorrow. So it is challenging at first, and it does take some practice and some time. My suggestion would to be very patient with yourself in learning to relax. It's not something that we're necessarily born to do. Oftentimes it's just a natural part of being a human being is experiencing stress. And so it does take a little bit of time, and you just need to be patient with yourself and find a form of meditation that works for you. Some people like to just you want to hopefully be in a quiet space. That's why I like to go out into the woods. It's often very quiet, except for some birds chirping. Some people like to walk. Some people like to a stretching exercise. Yoga works as well. That can be a form of meditation. But basically you want to start with a very quiet space, and hopefully a space where there are a few distractions. Definitely turn off your electronics. So no iPads, no iPhones, no television. So you want to try, if you can, to start that an hour before bedtime. Some people find that exercise too close to bedtime interferes with their sleep, and that's true as well. So if you need to do that earlier in the day, that's great. Whatever works for you. Some people like doing artwork as a form of meditation. And actually with Samaritan, I've found that quite a few people love to garden, and that's their form of meditation. They're typically more relaxed. They're focused on the beautiful plants and flowers and vegetables that they're growing. It's a very tactile activity, so you're digging your hands in the dirt and you're oftentimes moving one thing to the next. It's very basic, it's very simple exercise, but it can be a wonderful form of meditation. So I encourage all of my gardeners out there to continue what they're doing because it works incredibly well for them. As far as how much time do I meditate, that's going to depend on you and how much time you have. Oftentimes people only have 5 minutes during the day to even just have time to themselves. I believe an hour works very well, but I agree that finding an hour out of your day to meditate might not be too possible for most people. So at least 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, that can help you fall asleep at night. Music works as well. There's so many apps and music you can download on nature sounds or waterfalls or rivers flowing. Anything like that can be very relaxing and add to your meditation experience. Okay, so now it's a little bit harder since we're all in a big group and there's people around us and we're at a table, but we're going to give it a shot and try a very simple meditation. So first, again, you want to be seated comfortably. So try and relax your body. It may take a bit. You want to try to get rid of all the tension you may be feeling in your body, your mind, your muscles, your joints, your ligaments. Any pain that you may be experiencing, especially if you have chronic pain, try and to not focus on that in just these few minutes that we're going to meditate. Now try to imagine yourself in a peaceful place. Again, mine is nature, but it could be anywhere that you find to be a peaceful place. Maybe you have your own room in your house. Maybe you, again, are in your garden, but try to imagine the most peaceful place that you've ever been. Your eyes can be closed or not. Most people find keeping your eyes closed is more relaxing. So now we want to take long, slow, very deep breaths. Again, if it works for you to breathe in through your nose and out your mouth, that's wonderful. Just make sure you pause a little bit on your inhale before you exhale. So I'm going to give you a moment to take about 3 or 4 deep breaths. I'll do it with you. As you continue to breathe in and exhale, again, try and make sure that your body is relaxed and release all the tension that you may be feeling. Continue to imagine yourself in that peaceful place, wherever you may be right now. And try to be in this moment right now. Try not to worry about the day's stress, what you may have ahead in your calendar, or maybe something that happened yesterday. Right now, we're just going to focus on being in your space right at this moment. And again, keep breathing. As you exhale, think of your body as floating. It's a wonderful feeling. If people have flying dreams, we know how wonderful that feels. You want to imagine yourself just gently floating. You don't have to balance yourself. It releases pain in your body. Just imagine yourself being weightless and just floating. Try to imagine those things lifting, if only for this moment. All of your pain and worry and stress. Try to imagine that just escaping your body. You can also think of a positive word or a positive mantra that you may use on a daily basis. Think of a positive quote. And repeat that to yourself as you continue to breathe in and exhale. Okay, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Did that feel wonderful? I love to do it throughout the day, but mostly right at night before I fall asleep. It's just wonderful. Some people like to count backwards, but other people find that that doesn't work because then they're focused on the numbers and if you goof up and miss a number and then try to go back, it gets confusing, and then your brain starts working again and it might not work. So I have some final thoughts for you as you practice meditation. Again, practice a sleep routine or sleep hygiene and try and stick to it. And again, be patient with yourself. It will be worth it in the end, and it will start working for you. On your stressful days, try and look forward to your time that you're going to meditate. Again, whether you're in nature or in your garden or doing your arts and crafts, or you could be a journal writer, whatever that is, during your day, during stressful periods, just try and think forward to that time you're going to have later that day. It'll help you think more positive about your day. And again, find a method that works best for you. Okay, does anybody have any questions for me?
Is there a best time to do any suggestions on a time of day that
Well, that's going to depend on you. You have to really find a time that's going to work best for you. For sleep, typically it's at night. I like to start my sleep routine an hour before bed, and that includes the meditation. You're welcome. Any other questions? Yes.
I've been doing something for about 25 years, and I use a totally random, almost gibberish for the relaxation.
Uh-huh.
That equals the length of my breath. So
Wonderful.
It's just automatically. And I've discovered recently that the morning is so busy. I know I'm retired. But the morning is so busy, the meditation right after I put my shoes on, after the shower, after the toothbrush, et cetera, so that's a very good time to just relax, get ready for the day.
Right, wonderful. Yes, so morning works great as well. And you had a question as well?
Guided meditation with like a tape or some voice or whatever.
Yes, again, same with the music. There's lots of opportunities for guided meditations. I lead them as well.
All the time, there are thoughts going through you as you do that. You're not really letting everything.
It's difficult. It is possible though. The more you do it, and you'll notice if it's music, you'll notice it starts fading in the back. Or if it's a spoken guided meditation, you'll notice the words start fading as well. And that's when your body is starting to relax. You don't focus too much on what they're saying in the words. But again, it does take practice to get to that point. Yes?
I was really surprised that meditation can be more than just sitting still.
Yes, a lot of people have that kind of understanding that meditation is where you're sitting and you're holding your hands, and you're doing ums and things like that. But it doesn't have to be that way, absolutely. Any other questions? Okay, wonderful. I believe we are doing a door prize drawing.
We are, but before we do that, let's give Patty a round of applause.
Thank you.